Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each personal month forecast for March 2023. Before we get into it, just know that these are different from the life path forecasts. So the calculations are different, and more than likely, the energy forecast is going to be different as well. So before you have a listen, make sure that you check the calculation to make sure that you're listening to the right one. This is, of course, a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading dedicated to your own personal numerology report, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below, and I would absolutely love to work with you. All right, let's take a look. If you are in a personal month of 8 this month in March, then this is for you. So you could see sort of an emphasis or focus come in this month around all things associated with the 8 energy, right? So resources, power struggles, sort of finding balance within those power struggles, right? Redistribution of power, finding justice for situations where there might have been an injustice. So you could see like settlements come to fruition now. If there's anything that you've kind of been working with as far as in the court system or trying to, if you've been going through any kind of like legal proceedings, you could see that come to completion at this time and find closure within that. Or you could see something with that get initiated at this time, right? Like come up either expectedly or unexpectedly. That's also possible. You could see things around your finances, like money come in. So you might see an uptick in money or resources, or you might see, some kind of a loss in that where it sort of sparks or sort of pushes you to make some changes, right? So if you're seeing like a loss in those finances or money, then it might encourage you to find a way to manage your money differently, right? In a way that works for you. Or maybe, apply for a promotion or get a different job or whatever, right? So all these things can kind of come into play. Or again, it could be that you have applied for a job and this month you get the news that you're getting the promotion, right? And so with that promotion comes additional responsibilities type things. So you can see this month a change in status, right? So, and that includes, going from single to partnered or married to divorced or something like that. So again, going back to the legal proceedings, you could see like a divorce getting finalized, or this could be the month for marriage for you. Maybe you're walking down the aisle. That's always possible. Same thing with like adoption. Adoption would kind of fall under this as well, where again, those sort of legal proceedings could go through. So you might get news on that as well. This is great energy for starting a business, taking your business to the next level, marketing your business in a fresh new way, especially because it's coupled with, we have the universal cycle in March of the 1. So very much about like leadership, ambition, assertiveness, taking the lead in something, launching something, taking a risk. Both the 1 and the 8 energies are very much like risk-taking energies. Sometimes it equates to big gains. Sometimes it equates to big losses. But both of those are going to open up opportunities for further growth, right? And doing things a little bit differently and expansion and all those things. So you could see a lot coming in around, again, like your career, business, owning a business, entrepreneurship, doing something, taking something creative that brings you joy and turning it into something very successful, right? Like that brings, very tangible, that brings in an income type thing. So a lot can kind of fall under this. Of course, it's a general reading, but really think of, again, like power, status, resources, money, buying or selling a home, buying or selling land. Maybe you're starting to look at that. Definitely, buying or selling a home, something like that could definitely come into play under this energy. And getting like potentially, asking value, asking price or more, right? Because 8 energy can sometimes amp up the potential for wealth, right? So let's see what else. Yeah, and I think I said status change. So you might see some kind of change in status. Now, again, it's a short cycle. It's only a month long. So, I would say either you'll see potentially something around one of these areas, or you'll get an indication that something around one of these areas is potentially coming in the months to follow. But if this is relevant for you, then you'll have a pretty good idea by month's end. Okay, so but I will say both the 1 energy, which again, we're in a universal cycle in March of 1, and the 8, which is your personal month, are very ambitious energies. And so they're pretty much those energies where it's like they've got the goal, they're going after it. They're going to take the risk. They're going to initiate it. They're going to be assertive. They're going to go after what they want. And they're going to take up that leadership role with integrity, right? So not, stepping over people to get what they want, but figuring out how to do that in a very collaborative way even, right? Again, in a way that holds integrity. So this can be a lot of times with 8 energy. In tarot, what's associated with this energy is the strength card, because there's a lot of moving parts with 8 energy, right? And it's a big powerhouse energy, and it's very easy to sort of get swept up in that and lose the integrity of the goal or the ambition or whatever. And so you just got to, just persevere through, check in with yourself, make sure that you're checking in with your why and all of that, right? Okay, but it is a very ambitious energy. So I would say just try not to spread yourself too thin. Just make sure that you're doing things in moderation, but don't hold yourself back from doing something that you feel really called to do, because this is such strong action-oriented energy that you are very much supported in taking action this month, especially as it has to do with any of those things I talked about with the 8 energy, right? So if you want to put your house on the market, this would be a great month for that, according to the numerology, right? The energy. Now, again, I would say if you want to know your own personal numerology, make sure you get a reading. But just for general overview, if you're in a personal month of 8, you could see some things coming around that. And I would say that you're very supported in, taking that risk as long as you feel comfortable with it and you feel called to. Now, let's see. So the 7th of March, we have a full moon. For you all, this is bringing in the energy of the 7. So that's not surprising. Because you have such strong, action-oriented energy that you're working with this month. And that really is the predominant energy, is the 8, right? So it's a lot very following your ambitions, making things happen, having that vision board, going after it, right? Planning, organizing, overcoming obstacles, all those things, right? But the other thing about the 8 energy is it's also a very spiritually connected energy. It's very divinely guided, right? So what's beautiful about the full moon energy highlighting the 7 for you is the 7 is also very spiritually connected. It's very psychic and very intuitive. It's very ethereal. One side of it is, right? The other side is very practical, logical, very determined, very meticulous, all those things. So it plays really beautifully with the energy of the 8, because it's sort of bringing in that more spiritually connected component. And really, regardless of what you sort of subscribe to, this could just be a deeper connection to self, right? To your higher consciousness, of really evaluating, checking in with yourself and making sure that what it is you're putting all this energy towards is what you actually want, right? Which you feel called towards or what you feel aligned with. So the 7 energy is really asking you to go deeper, right, within self, and really check in with yourself to make sure that, again, where it is that you're feeling called to move towards, or where it is that you're sort of being drawn towards, aligns with sort of the life you're trying to create, right? What it is you want. So the 7 energy around this full moon may ask you to really take a deeper look at that, to really make sure that when you're showing up first and foremost within your own truth, right? You're going after the things that you want to go after. You're investing your time and your energy and your resources into something that is in alignment with you. That's first and foremost the most important thing, right? So the 7 energy is going to ask you probably to get very real about that and to release anything that is not in alignment with that, because it is a full moon. So there's going to potentially be something released. But again, it can just be like a mindset or a belief system or, something that you've been going towards, but that you really don't even want. So the 7 is like, all right, let's get real and, let's release whatever we don't need. Then on March 21st or 22nd, depending on where you live within the world, we have a new moon. And this new moon for you all is bringing in the energy of the 3 and the 13-4. So some potential major transformation coming in around this new moon that has to do with, I would say, like communication or like creative output. Creative output would make sense because you're in a personal 8 month, right? So we talked about that. It's very like career focused, or it doesn't have to be career, but like creative output, right? Like how you share your gifts with the world type thing, whether that's for payment or not, right? Whether it's like a hobby or not, whether it's giving advice or through philanthropy or however that shows up for you. But the fact that it's the 13-4 and the 3 showing up tells me that there's going to potentially be an opportunity for some transformation, new perspective when it comes to how you get your message across, like how you communicate, how you share your gifts, and in doing so, like how you market yourself. That could very much come up around this new moon. Maybe you'll come up with a new marketing strategy, and maybe you'll have an opportunity to network with people at a much deeper level, right? Or a broader level, right? But there's some kind of transformation that's potentially going to occur or a potential for it, right? Like you might have an opportunity to shift the way you're marketing or shift the way that you're communicating or shift the way, you're showing up in, how you creatively express yourself. So pay attention to whatever really shows up strongly for you around this new moon, because whatever that is either bringing about an opportunity for some kind of shift or transformation in those areas, or it's indicating to you where that might be coming, right? Or where you could make a shift if you chose to. And in doing so, there's a potential that it could prove to be very successful, right? So something like this, I would say, like, let's say that you, I don't know, where, the way that you, I don't know, let's say that you had let's say that you had a podcast, right? And the way that you were presenting your podcast just feels sort of outdated, right? So this new moon, you might notice some opportunities to upgrade, to change the way that you're presenting your material. And if it feels good for you, I would say go with it, right? Go for it. This is a great time to make any kind of, again, like shifts, adjustments, modifications to the way that you do your, business or make money or any of those things we sort of talked about. And with this new moon, there's such strong 3 emphasis that there's definitely something here around like communication. So written or spoken word and how you do that. And there's some kind of transformation potentially that could come in for you around that. So I would say definitely be open to it, because anytime this energy comes in and it comes in coupled with that of the 8, there's an opportunity for, just transforming how you share your gifts in the world. So beautiful energy, very powerful energy for you all if you are in a personal month 8 this month. You got a lot of dynamic energies that you're working with that have the potential to really just push you forward in a big way. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so I hope it's a great month for you all. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.